movie in your mind whilst reading. This is called visualization. So what is visualization? Visualization is an important reading strategy as it helps us to remember what we have read. We create mental images with our mind. We do this to paint a picture of the story that we are reading. This helps us to understand the information and make the reading more interesting. Visualization helps us to use our imagination to make sense of the text, connect ourselves to the character in the story that we are reading in order to see what they see, feel what they feel, and hear what they hear, and to be active listeners.
How do we visualize? We use the author's information, our imagination, our own life experiences, which may come from the world around us, movies we have watched, and other books that we have read. Good readers will use their five senses in order to make sense of the text and put themselves in the mind of the characters, immersing themselves in the story. I'm going to give you a quick example of one way that we can use visualization. I want you to close your eyes. Can you think about what you had for dinner last night? Try and create a picture in your head. What can you smell? Did you enjoy it? What can you taste? Think about the texture and the types of food you were eating. Where were you last night? What did you hear? Was your tummy rumbling because you were hungry, or did you feel sick because you ate too much? Okay, have you got some pictures in your mind? Can you see that we have used our five senses to not only create these mental images, but to also remind ourselves of a past experience? These all help us to practice the reading strategy visualization.
Now that we have had a practice, I'm going to choose a passage from the book Shahana. I use visualization to help me make sense of what I'm reading. Shahana turns to see the shadow of the fence against the darkening sky. He stops and listens. What is it? The noise. What noise? Then she hears it too, a rumbling like thunder in the mountain. At first she thinks it is a waterfall, but remembers it is too far away. Then she realizes, "Run!" she screams. "The snow is falling off the mountain." It is difficult to see which way is best. Which is the shortest route to the house? Which way will lead them into the snow's path? "Here," Zahid says, after they can't run anymore. "Hide behind this fir tree. Its trunk is wide." He stands behind her to hold her still. They can feel the rumbling through their feet. Shahana's whole body is shaking with the sound of growling snow. When the snow hits the tree, it holds for some moment. Maybe we will be safe after all, she thinks. Then the weight of the snow snaps a branch, then another. The tree groans. Zahid tightens his grip on Shahana's waist as they are swept away with the snow.
This is my thought process. Using our five senses, what did I see, hear, and feel when reading this passage? It looks like I see the characters huddling up, scared, not knowing what will happen. I see the snow thrashing uncontrollably down the mountain towards Shahana and Zahid. Sounds like I hear the sound of rumbling from a distance, getting closer and closer. I imagine the characters getting swept away in the commotion. I have seen footage of a hurricane on the news, so I'm making connections to what I would imagine an avalanche to sound like. I hear the cracking sound as the snow is getting heavier and heavier, making the branch weak. Feels like as the tree breaks and the snow sweeps them away, I feel how numb Shahana's body must be feeling. I can feel Shahana's body shivering and shaking from the cold. I imagine her to be frightened and feeling as if she is stuck in the path of destruction. For a brief moment, I feel that Shahana is hopeful before the branch breaks. Now that you've listened to my thought process of visualization, it's time for you to practice applying these new skills to your own reading using your five senses. Use your looks like, sounds like, feels like chart to help create your own mental images for the passage. Remember, you can draw pictures as well as writing text to help you jot down your thinking. When you are finished, share your work with the person sitting next to you and have a discussion about the similarities and differences in your work and why this may be the case.
Created using Powtoon.